Hello everyone, I am Sojit Nath and welcome to the last and final part of my ETL project series. Yes, I know that I am really late to upload this final part as I got stuck in some other work, but yes, better late than never. So in this part, we'll interact with Azure Synapse Analytics and we'll push our data in the gold layer and we'll also check like how can we access the data in Power BI without physically storing the data in our system. So yes, it will be really fun and interesting. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So just a quick recap, like what we have done till now. So in part one, we have extracted the raw data from a GitHub link, and we have used Azure Data Factory, and we have created pipelines to store our data in the bronze layer. And bronze layer means basically a container in Azure Data Lake. In the second part, we have used Databricks to transform our data, store it in our silver layer, and we have also seen that how we can make the connections between our data lake and Databricks. And now, in the final part, we'll check like how we can use Azure Synapse Analytics, and we can see the data in Power BI without physically storing the data in our system. So yes, this is how everything is gonna start. But before that, just a basic thing that what Azure Synapse Analytics is. Azure Synapse Analytics is a platform, or you can say it's a combination of Azure Data Factory plus Spark plus data warehousing. It is a unified platform and it comes with lots and lots of features. We'll look into the UI of it. So next, how to access the data from data lake and get into Azure Synapse Analytics. So basically, earlier what we have done is like we have created a secret credential, or you can say like a key. We have talked about it earlier to access that data. But as we know, Synapse Analytics is a product of Azure, and Data Lake is also a product of Azure. So we don't need to create any key. By default, Azure Synapse Analytics have a credential from which we can interact data to our system, like Azure can interact the data, and that credential is known as managed identity. So in a very easy way, let me explain. Like suppose you are going to your college or a job, like you have to keep your ID because without ID, like you don't have a valid identity, right? So in your job, you need that ID. But when you come to your home, you don't need to show any ID. Like your family knows who you are and they just need to see your face. So your face is that managed identity for your parents or your sibling. So this is what a very easy way I can say that managed identity is. So like the theory part is somewhat clear. Oh yes, another thing. We also have to provide the permission or you can say role to the user so that the user can also access the data. So we will just jump into it. Like first we will provide all the permissions and all the necessary things that need to be done. Then we will get into the interface of Azure Synapse Analytics. So let's meet you in the UI. So this is the UI of Azure. So first thing first, we will create a workspace or you can say a resource for Azure Synapse Analytics. So I've already used it, so it's showing here. But for you, like you can click here or in the search, you can type Azure Synapse Analytics, like Synapse Analytics, and just select here. I already have a workspace, but to create one, you can click here. Then you can select the resource group, and here you have the similar like Databricks that we have done earlier in the project. Manage resource group, give a name of your manage resource group. Then, yeah, this part like workspace name, give your workspace name. In the region, select the region, and in the account name, on this part, like Synapse uses a default storage. So if you have a storage, like then you can select it from here in the drop down, or you can create new, and after that go to security and provide this credential. So this credential is basically used in dedicated SQL pool. So we will talk about this later. Like I will tell you what it is. But for now, just create a password and then just click review and create. And after this, you will have something like this. My workspace name is ETL Project Synapse. So we'll just open it and open Synapse Studio. What is this? Come on, come on, bro, come on. Hmm. So this is the UI of our Azure Synapse. But before that, as I talked earlier, we have to provide the permissions. And to give the permission to our storage account, we will go to our storage account. Mhm. See, this is my default Synapse storage account. I will not touch it. I will go to ETL project storage, go to the IAM, click add role assignment. Search will like storage. Sorry, my bad. Storage block contributor. Hmm. This is the one. Select next. As we discussed earlier, we will use manage the entity. So just click here, then select members. We want it for our Synapse workspace. Select and then okay. So this is our manager entity. This part and then click select. Then tap view and assign. It is done. Now we'll give access to the user. Add role assignment. Again, storage block contributors. Storage block contrib. You could have done it earlier also, but my bad. I have directly clicked review and assign. So select members. This is the one. Select next. Then click review and assign. Hmm. Yeah, it's recording perfectly. See, okay, done. Now we'll go to our Synapse. So this is the UI of Synapse. It is similar to Azure Data Factory, but it's not Data Factory. So these two are like similar to Azure Data Factory. And here, like integrate, we can create pipelines from here. It is similar to Azure Data Factory. And then develop, we can create scripts like from here SQL scripts, SQL scripts, notebook. We click notebook, like you can create a notebook and you can type your Spark codes, Python. So it's not our forte of project. So we will go to develop and we will click the add new resource and we will click SQL script. So we will do everything here. So first thing first, to write a SQL script, we need a database, right? So by default, we have a master database. We have to create our own database. Create a database. We need to go to data and click this plus sign. See, we have a SQL database. We also call it as data warehousing solution. And this lake database, like in Spark, if we create a database, we call it lakehouse. So it is lake database. but we need SQL database. Now there are two things, server and dedicated. So earlier what we have done is like, remember we have created a password, admin password while creating the Synapse account. So this one dedicated. Dedicated is database is like the normal that we everyone use to store files physically, like in Postgre or MySQL or SSMS. But serverless is the thing that you should know. Suppose we have the data in data lake and we want to run the query, and we don't want to store the data in our database. So what will happen is we'll create a serverless database, and in the middle, in between, not middle, in between our lake house and our database, there will be abstraction layer where all metadata will be stored. So what we will do is we'll run the query and we'll pass it in the metadata. That metadata will go to the data lake, and in return we'll get the output of the query. And all of this will work without storing the physical data in our database. So this is really cool feature. So I'll go for serverless. Let's create it as ETL gold underscore database. Like create, what's wrong? Mm, So now that our database is created, so now we should like run query. But to run query in serverless, we have to use a function that is OpenRowSet. So what is OpenRowSet function? It will help to create an abstraction layer on top of our data lake so that if we run a query, we should get the result. So let's do it. Like, let me show you how to do it. Like, select all mm, from OpenRowSet. Then in bulk, I will give the link. So this is my storage account. So storage account, where is my containers? Got it. So ATL project, the silver. Let's take the sales per year table. So this is our file. Now let's copy it. So we have copied it. Just paste it. Will not give the file name. Discard the file name. Then we'll give the format. And what's the format? Okay, what's wrong? What's wrong? I haven't closed it. Comma. Then format equal to, what is the format? It's parquet. So you perfect, right? Okay. As let's set it as Q1. Now let me show you a magic. And as you can see, our data resides in our data lake, and on top of that, we have applied a abstraction layer using OpenRowSet feature, and we got the result in tabular form. And here, like, we also have charts, like you can see, it's a line chart. Okay, and you can save it as the image also, or you can export the result in CSV, JSON, or XML. Now, to get the data in Power BI, we'll create views and we'll store those views in gold layer, and we'll use that gold layer in Power BI. So to do this, first I'll create a schema, like create new script. Let's name it as schema. Then let's hide it. Then create schema is gold. Let's run it. Okay, now our schema is created. So next we will create views. Huh? To create a view, let's create view gold dot. Okay, take, mm, let's create a view for sales per year. Dot sales per year as select extras from OPENROWSET and in bulk our link is okay, we have it here only. Just let's copy it. It both. Let's just copy it both and just paste it. Not equal to parquet. Okay, okay. As query query one. Let's run it. Okay, create an alter is not supported in okay, okay. I've done a wrong thing. I have to choose the database. So earlier I have done the wrong thing. Create schema gold. Okay, great. Now create the view. Let's run it. Yes. Now let me show you a magic. If we type like select all from gold dot sales per year, and if we run it, so what we will get? See, so we have that data here, and we have created the views. Similarly, let's create views for other files also. So let me copy it. You can fast forward it if you can want. Okay, for sales. Oops, 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 oops. Sorry, my bad. I always click enter. Okay, what the hell is this? Create views error. What we have others? That's it. DF sales per year mean sales per state. Okay. So mean mm, sales per year, sales per state. Mm, goal dot main. And similarly, it is also main. Let me check the file name. Sales per state. Of course, spelling is correct. Sales per state as query 1. Let's keep it as query 2. Let's keep it as query 3. Create view as goal set. So here, okay. Let's run it. One, create another view is created. Sales per year. One, and this view is also created, and this is already created. So if we run, like select extras from sales per year, we'll get the result. Obviously, I'm confident. Yes, we have the result here. Next, mm, if I select like select extras from sales, sorry, mention the schema like goal dot sales per state, and if I also run it, see, we've got the data, and if I want the main file, I can write select extras from goal dot main, and I will get the data too. And let's do another thing, like let's change the script name to views. Yes. So, and now let's publish all so that our data gets saved and we don't lose anything. Great, cool. Yeah, it's done. Yes, it's completed. Now, as the views are created, so the next step is we'll create external table. So to create external table, there are a few steps. First, I'll create a credential. I'll use the credential in Synapse Analytics, and I will ask Synapse Analytics to use the credential to pick the data from the source. Secondly, I'll create a external data source because if I want a data now, like I have to put the full link, and it is really headache because in practical field, like I have only three tables, right? But in practical fields there will be multiple tables, and for each table you have to put the full link. It will be a really headache. So for that reason, what I will do is I'll create an external source table for our silver layer, and I will keep the link up to the container level, and the rest of the link I will put it in the location, and then I will create one file format, external file format, where I will specifically define the file format, like what file format we have. As we know, as you know that everything is in Parquet format, so it will be easy. So let's get started. So now let's create a script. So script, select our database, and then let's create a master key. And to create a master key, let's create master key encryption by password, and keep the password as like uh, give it as Azure, sorry, Azure 123. Like you have to use one uppercase, okay, something like that, and just you can run it. I will not use it as I have already uh, provided some other password. So next, like I would like to create the credential. Create credential database. Okay, why it's coming like this, man? Come on. Okay. Create database, scope, credential and credential should be like so underscore create wait, identity to managed identity, and then just run it. I've already run it, so I don't need to run it again and again. So now that our identity is created, so next what we will do is we will create an external data source. So to create an external data source, just like create external, yeah, create external data source. We'll give the location. Okay, we have to give the name like source, source underscore silver with location equal to mm, silver with location. What was our location? Like we have used it here only, right? So we want it up to silver. So yeah, this is the location. Yeah, yeah. Location equal to this, and what will be the credential equal to subcred. Okay, so this one is created. This one is for silver. We'll create another for gold because we want to fetch that data from silver, and we want to put the data in gold. So what we will do is just copy and paste it and just name it as gold. Just replace it with what? With gold. Done. Now we'll create external data format, external file format. Mm, okay. Come on, Joe. Create external file format and Parquet. It was like to mention the name. Mm, because we'll use that name later. Format underscore Parquet. Wait. Okay. Format. Format type equal to Parquet. Parquet. And another was what was uh, data compression. Like, okay, let's just go to Google. Like data compression. Okay, you will get it here only data compression. Uh-huh. Mm, okay, it's not here. Uh, mm, external, external file format data compression. Let's see. Yes, you can use this one also. but I'm searching something for Parquet. Yes. So this is the data compression. Just copy it and then um, data compression equal to just paste it. So our external file format is also ready. Now let's run everything. So first, to run this one, I've created the source for silver, source for gold is also created, and external file format is also created. Great. So as of now, what we have is we have our silver layer and we have our gold layer. In top of silver layer, we have views. And now what we will do is we'll create an external table and that external table will push the data to the gold layer and top of the data, it will create an external table. So how it's gonna work? We will use CTS. What is CTS? Create external table as select. So let's see how it's gonna work. So what we have is suppose I write create. Okay, let's follow some norms. Create external table gold schema gold dot what should be the name? Let's give it as sales P year. Okay, with location as sales year. This will be basically our folder name. Then data source equal to what is our data source? Like where we want the data, we want the data here, right? So after the gold, there will be our folder name that is sales P year. This one. So it's source code. Then says file format equal to format parquet. Okay. Now, as we have created views, so we don't have to write the subquery. We'll only mention the view. So it says per year, right? Let me check what I mentioned. Here, create view as sales per year. Let me copy it and then just paste it. As select or from. Sorry, I've copied it, but why is showing like this? Mm, sorry, my bad. Per year. So let's see how it works. If I run this, okay. Now let's check the magic. Now if I type select access from gold dot sphere, what I will get? See, we have the data here, but you might have a doubt like in views also we are getting the same and here also we are getting the same, but the catch is here. If I go to gold, you will see a folder name CSP here, and inside this we have the file, and it is in Parquet format. Similarly, let's create for other also. So what other table we have? Sales per year, okay. Sales per state and main. Huh. So what I will do is sales per state, sales per state, right? I mentioned it in a good way, I guess. I think the current is spelling is correct. Hmm. So let's run this. It should hardly take few seconds. Great. Excellent. So in gold, like you can see, all our files are here only. So we are in the final part of our ETL project. We got our data in the gold layer. Now it's time to connect to Power BI. Now how we will do it is, mm, okay, let's publish it all. Let me show you like how we'll do it. Okay, if I go to Synapse Analytics, okay, if I go to home, there should be something like, okay, okay, where was it? Okay. Mm. Yeah, if I go to Synapse Analytics, so I just need to get in. So here you can see it is mentioned that serverless SQL endpoint. There is another one dedicated SQL endpoint. As you know that we have used serverless SQL endpoint like serverless database. So we will use this endpoint. And before that, let me give you a brief idea that what actually this endpoint is. It is basically a gateway which will provide access to Power BI to access the data from that database without storing the data physically in the system. Now, you just have to copy it and then like open Power BI desktop. Yes, let's see if it opens. So this is the UI of Power BI, and to get the data, just click on Get Data, go to More, a new window will pop up. Then select Azure and then select Azure Synapse Analytics SQL. Just click and connect. Yeah. Now in the server, just paste the endpoint and click OK. Mm, so now we can get the data in our Power BI, and the best part will be that the data like these tables will be not be stored in our machines, and it is in cloud, and we can interact with it. So just click load. Yes. Hmm. So we have the data here. Yes, we have the data. So now let's create a visualization. We'll not get much deeper into Power BI, but yes, for fun, we can create a like let's create a pie chart only. Yes, so this is the pie chart, and let's create a pie chart for sales per year. So let's keep the year in legend, okay, and total sale in values. So this is the pie chart that we have, and you can interact in Power BI. Like if you select this part and then this part, you will get the good summary about that what this part means, which is great. And to make it look good, there is a tab that is format your visual. Like in the slices, you can change the color of the slice, and then legend, like it's in like center right. So let's put it in top center. Excellent. We can change the font of it. I like Times New Roman, so set it Times New Roman only. Make it little bold. Ah, mm, regarding the slices, we have any other details? Okay, no, we can't do anything in slice. Now this detail levels, like I think these things, positions, we can put it in inside or prefer outside or like inside outside. Okay, the level count, let's say percentage of total. Ah, this looks great. And regarding the values, it should also be in Times New Roman and it should be bold. The size could have been bigger. Let's increase the size. Okay. Then background. What is this? Display units. 1000. Okay, so this is how like you can create a pie chart in Power BI, or any other data professional can use this data to get some tough insights from it. So that's a wrap to our three-part ETL project series. So in this project, we have extracted the raw data. We have used Azure Data Factory to get the raw data from GitHub and stored it in bronze layer. Secondly, we have used Databricks to transform our data and store it in silver layer. And in the final part, we have used Azure Synapse Analytics. We have worked in serverless database, and we have also seen that how to access the data in Power BI without physically storing the data in our machine. So I hope you like the series. If you have any suggestions or if you have any doubt or if you have noticed that I could have done better in some part, please point out in the comment section. I'll be happy to respond. Thank you so much for watching the video. See you in the next project.